confirmed that, according to local law enforcement officials, there are multiple fatalities. The president is already tweeting about the news. He is saying, quote, "The school shooting in Texas, early reports not looking good. God bless all." That from the President of the United States of America. The local sheriff's department, the Harris County Sheriff's Department, also tweeting one suspect in custody, a second one detained. An injured police officer is being treated. The extent of his injuries unknown. We have also heard this morning from a doctor at a local hospital, a trauma center. He says they have received 3 patients, 2 of them adults, 1 of them under 18, all with gunshot wounds. He refers to the situation as, quote unquote, heartbreaking. We're also hearing from local law enforcement that there may have been an explosive device left behind inside the school. So to recap, we're talking this morning about the breaking news out of Santa Fe, Texas, outside of Houston, where ABC News has learned there are multiple casualties after a school shooting, yet another school shooting. And here we are again on another morning in America where we're seeing these distressingly familiar scenes outside of a school. Brad Garrett, our ABC News criminal consultant, is with us from our Washington bureau. Brad, give us a sense, as we look at the pictures here of first responders, of what's going on at the scene in a moment like this.
Well, it appears, Dan, that they have it contained. They're saying they have the shooter in custody, but the real clue and key here is the movement and activities of law enforcement and bomb techs. Apparently, ATF and other bomb techs are at the scene because reportedly of maybe some devices in the school. So the issue is, this is a fairly good-sized school, so you're going to have to clear it. Despite the fact you think you only have one shooter that they apparently have in custody, what else do you have? Do you have explosives? Did he put up devices that, booby traps, that law enforcement or civilians could walk into? So this is going to take a period of time before they clear this school.
And the other thing they have to do, which is cruelly ironic, is they often have to take a hard look at all of the students who have just lived through this traumatic experience and are evacuating. They have to look, search among the students to see if a shooter is escaping with the tide of students leaving the school.
Exactly, like Nicholas Cruz in Parkland, Florida. He mixed in with the crowd, so you're exactly right. You're going to have to pat down kids. They're probably even searching some vehicles in the parking lot, in particular the shooters, but maybe other people's property, just to make sure they have this contained.
We also have with us on the phone this morning Pierre Thomas, ABC News correspondent. Pierre Thomas is our chief law and justice correspondent. Pierre, what are you hearing from your sources inside the federal government?
Again, we're getting reports of multiple injuries. Dan, again, federal authorities, the ATF has responded. The FBI has responded to the scene to support local law enforcement. Just a horrific situation. Law enforcement officials have been concerned. The FBI just recently came out with a report showing that these kinds of active shooter incidents have been on the rise. Just this week, we saw an attempted event at a school in Illinois. So this is becoming what many law enforcement officials are calling a chronic problem, particularly at schools, which, you know, our most precious commodities are at. Another incident where someone went into a school with a weapon and began firing.
You used the right word, horrifying, and you described it as a chronic problem. My understanding is this is the 22nd school shooting this year alone.